I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. I don't think so. No, 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 no. Maybe someday you'll have it your way. Maybe someday it'll all work out. Until then, nope, a nope, a nope, a nope, definitely nope, a nope, nope, a nope. Probably never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. Oh no.
But remember, for me, who was at Tintare, I was more exposed.
Exactly.
Yes.
Kind of Teraka Vision Empire Vintum Cape. You knew those things.
Yes, so I wasn't green.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy. I could hold my own. So I think either she or her parents as well, because at Clubs, they came through. For
Her parents.
Yes, for the performance.
To see.
At Clubs. And it was like a 1 a.m. So like, so you mean she has to be doing stuff like this, being out late at night.
Just like that.
There's men drinking alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
There's this kind of environment for our daughter. So, I guess, and she was also very shy. Anyway. Very, very shy. Like I said, we used to sing for passion.
Yes, yes.
And we never saw or knew what it would entail on the other side of the business. So I think it was a bit, maybe too much for her at the time. And so it wasn't a definitive decision that was made, but she would just keep not showing up for stuff. Shows, performances, interviews, or anything. She just wouldn't show up, and then it became, pointless, or became hard.
Are you still in touch with her? What is she up to?
Very much so. In fact, on my concert on 5th October, she's coming through. I hadn't told anyone.
We're going to see her.
Yes, and she's actually back into music.
She is.
Yeah, she goes by the name Lilian Aawe. She has an album on Spotify called Freedonia.
Why has she decided to come back to music now?
I think she's mature enough to hold her own.
Now.
Yes.
She regrets. She feels like she can come and be big now.
I mean, I don't know if she regrets, but I mean, she's doing her thing in a way that's comfortable for her.
Tomoreke. We can talk about her some other time. So now, how do you start interacting with her? Because you're among the few artists ababera kurusegerera room against the radio with Weasel. How do you penetrate those walls now?
So, one of the reasons that I really went, there were many producers, but I went to Ngoni, is that they had produced Moses' song Sweet Lady. And I really liked the sound. That was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And that was, I didn't know Radio had other songs. I found out that he had Jennifer. After me, I thought that was the only song he had. And so we started to rub shoulders at shows. They'll bring like P Square. I remember because I bought P Square with I think Equatorial.
Yeah.
That one at the beach.
Yes.
And we're among the performers, Radio Rizzo and I. So we'll be backstage together. So we didn't know each other much. But hey man, I like your song. Yeah, I like your song too. And also Benon was close with AD. Because remember, AD studio was in March, India.
Yes.
and they were originally Muswangali, which was
yes,
outside.
yes.
So I got introduced to all those guys in proximity. And then, of course, when they shifted to Swangs, we all started hanging out there. And that's how I met Just Jose.
Yeah.
And we became friends, and the Moses was also always there.
Yeah.
But I felt like there was a bit of, I don't know, not called prejudice, but teasing. I was an outsider in the industry. I wasn't a typical Ugandan artist.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wasn't street. I wasn't. So there was always a
disconnect somewhere, somehow.
Yes. But Mose didn't have that. Yes. I don't know. Maybe because we shared, he was at my career as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we could connect in a different way. We would connect at an intellectual level as well. So there was a different... he didn't judge me for anything. But there was a bit of a disconnect from the, like I'm an outsider.
Yes.
Like
get to streety.
Like who this guy?
You feel like everything has come for you easily. Those things, yeah.
Whatever prejudice in the mind. So there's always that thing that you're not received or welcomed. Yeah. But Mose didn't have that, and that drew us closer. Because I also felt comfortable. You know, you feel comfortable where you're welcomed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Energy is a weird thing.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't have to speak for you to feel a vibe. And so people like Mose, we had that kinship. Of course, even Benon or just Jose, even Rabba, he had his own challenges. But yeah. And I had a friend called Munya. Shouts out Munya if you're watching this. Yes, he was not Ugandan, he was working here, but he was the one that did the connection between Radio Weasel and General Ozzy. Yeah. Yes. And it was actually through that connection that I also got to do the song Swag Meter with Roberto, who's Ozzy's younger brother. Oh, yeah. You know? Munya also played a big part. He was really like one of those guys who believed so potential in the Ugandan music industry, even though he was a foreigner. But he had been here many years, and he really, really loved music. He was mobili. Oh yeah. For the Moses, for me, for.
Did you get also Chikono from the rest of the artists? Like saying, you know, there was a time when, if you're not endorsed by certain class of artists, Togenda Ita, was that the case for you?
I think it wasn't easy because I was not exactly in direct competition with any of them. My music was very different. So, you get, no one feels like I've come for their space. So, it was like, and I was not also involved in
those things. The showbiz wasn't much for you then.
Yes, so you would have to go out of your way to become my enemy because I ain't done nothing to nobody. Yeah. You know? I'm just peaceful and doing my thing. Yeah. So but to say that, to have an altercation, it was hard for them. So I was just speaking with the music. Yeah. And also, I was not, because of maybe being in school at the time. Because remember all those songs, all the way to January to December, I'm at uni.
Oh, wow.
So I'm
and mommy is campus. This.
Well, in a manner of speaking, so long as you are not getting retakes, she was car. Oh, okay. That was the condition. So I didn't mix well. I wasn't spending my days in Machindia all the time. You get? Yeah. I was at campus, on hostel, on studio, or at a show. Or I didn't have much free time to. And then the one that I had, I preferred also to spend it where I felt welcome. Yeah. Which was like with the Moses when we used to go to Anderita Beach. Yeah. Or at Swangs at the time. So that's the way. Now you understood the dynamics of how I got close to Mose.
You mentioned about regretting not having a proper manager earlier in life. True. What are some of those other things? I mean, we're talking about Alan Toniks being around from what, 2008, 8 up to now 2024. And you're banga dene, bro. True. What are some of those other things you feel like if this was done right, probably things would be different?
I mean, there are a lot of things. Sometimes being ahead of your time is a double-edged sword. It makes you a unicorn, but you see, a unicorn is a unicorn, and it's double-edged. It's unique, and that uniqueness makes it something admirable.
Yeah.
But it also makes it fragile in a way, you know?
Yeah.
It might not be as resilient in the bigger picture of things. And so, in a way, I was sort of a unicorn at the time. But I think because I was maybe humility, at least among the people, those that were close to me, that knew me, leave alone that those that judge you from a distance, but those that I dealt with one-on-one. So I always had, should I call it a stepping stone?
Yeah.
Or a fallback in case things didn't go right. Because I never burned bridges. Up to today, we still talk with AD.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And up to today, I mean, I had a stint with Talent Africa, management stint.
Yeah.
It lasted maybe a couple. That's the time I did Yenze. You know?
With
it lasted
Ali.
a bit, yeah. But we're still very good friends today.
Yeah.
In fact, he's one of the guys that will be one of the partners for my upcoming concert.
For the concert, yeah.
So I think that's one of my the things that help me is that I don't burn bridges. I don't. So everybody from day one to now,
yeah,
that's still my people.
You've not, I think in your career, you've not given out a lot of collabos. You have one with OS. That's January to December. You have Roberto. You have, forget about the remix with Lydia Jasmine. These are just recent.
I have one with Bruno K, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman, Bruno K. Why is it that collabos and you don't give out a lot of them?
Bible says, ask
and you'll be given.
Knock and the door shall be open. Those who ask receive.
People have not asked you for collabos.
Those who have asked have received.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yes. I
with Shiba, she asked or...
OS.
Yeah.
We were at studio because I think I was doing mixing, mastering at and he said, but I said, like freestyle. I have a collab with Natty Nathan. We need to do another, but we got some copyright issues with it. It was supposed to.
What? You had done like a conscience beat or?
The producer had sampled a bit too much.
Oh, wow.
So there were issues of iTunes, what. So I was like, bro, if we have a song that we can't even put online, it's gonna. But it was beautiful. It was. It hurt me. But you win some, you lose some. I have a song with Chameleon. Can you imagine? It's called. You can even check it.
It's there.
You go online and check a song called Goodbye. It was recorded. An interesting story. I was in a session with Mose when Chameleon came over to Neverland. And I was like, hey, you guys are doing a track with Elia Keys. Like, let me jump on this. So Mose was like, you know what? You guys do this song because we already have another project with Alan. Girl Next Door, which is it's one of the songs we did right before. We didn't get a chance to push it much because then he passed away.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did that. Though it was a project that Mose was supposed to help put together and all that. So unfortunately he passed away, and that was, I mean, we had a couple of things lined up with under Angel Music. I have another song that I didn't release. It's called Lilian Aawe. It's a Runyankore song.
Yeah.
But it's had some Luganda. So we had made this thing because Mose was really intrigued by Runyankore. He said it sounded like Arabic to him.
Wow.
So he was saying, I want you to write for me like 5 Runyankore songs.
Yes. I
write for you also 5 Luganda. So we were And then motherfuckers took his life.
Anyhow, you're one of those people that can keep quiet, like literally blackout. No media, no what. Poof, you come back with a song and it becomes a problem.
I think
that's a blessing.
True.
I've been personally approached by brands that had taken a break from music, probably because of personal reasons. You even put in money in Ghana, but for you, it's just effortlessly. Toniks releases a song and people are like, "Oh, our darling sweetheart, come back. We've been waiting for you." How does that work out for you?
Well, it might seem effortless, but it's not. Especially because the space in the media changes so much. And with that change always comes challenges. But I think right from the start, I've always been more about the music. And today there's artists that are about the music, but the majority are about the gimmicks. You know. And the gimmicks work today to a certain extent, in a certain respect. The combination of the two will be perfect. And so I've always been about the music. And so I inevitably, over time, we had this discussion earlier with someone else, and you're saying your discography, there's a distinctive, noticeable change over time. You keep evolving. The music keeps evolving. It doesn't stay the same. It keeps changing. It keeps changing. And is that deliberate or accidental? Honestly, it was not deliberate, but I see why he would think it's deliberate. Because you need to evolve.
Yeah.
In high school, they used to say, either you change with change or change will change you.
Yeah.
So tastes and preferences change, sound changes, vibes change. So if you are adaptable, I think that's the key.
Yeah.
So if I took a break, let me say, before I released Romance, I'd taken a break. But the last song I'd released, I think before that was, Baby Language.
Yes.
With Don MC.
First of all,
we're talking about collabos. You forgot that one.
Oh yeah, it was a huge one. First of all, why do the breaks come? Do you go through like a burnout and you're like, let me just chill? Is it relationship stress? Is it financial stress? Is it personal?
Different reasons. My longest break, which was in 2016, after that particular song I'm saying, it was personal reasons. Personal reasons that are all-encompassing. Loss in the family, that also comes with financial consequences.
You lost someone in the family?
Yeah, actually people, not even someone.
What happened?
But it was a period, quite a bit of turmoil. And then, of course, I had a bit of depression. Then I fell ill also for a bit. And so there was a lot happening. And also, so I needed to reset.
Yes.
I think I needed to reset. And the reset was not intentional, but it was good. Because the result was romance.
I want your romance.
Exactly.
And
maybe I might not have done that.
Take me there, bro. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's turn that corner. Yes.
One of the worst things people do, both media, DJs, and fans, is akapia kaliwa. That's the worst. That's the murderer. That is the murderer of creativity.
Yeah.
It will murder it. You won't know it,
but it will murder it.
Yeah, because you grasp at straws a bit too much. That's why you see someone produces and releases 10 songs and none of them really gets traction.
Yeah.
Because the pressure, So that reset helped me to be able to. I wasn't even in people's faces for them to ask me that anymore. You get?
Were you in the country though?
I was. Just low-key.
Okay.
I was.
Calls for performances weren't coming through?
They were. I would do the performances.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would do the performances, but also I was really mostly on my own for quite a bit. But it helped me to creatively reset and refresh and be able to come up with a different mindset, work with different people, and come up with something that's absolutely, I mean, most of the people who first heard that song, I remember, we thought this song was not a Ugandan song.
My only girl. Beautiful piece.
You know?
When the spotlight is shining on you, shining on you and everybody is looking at you, does it come with the pressure for keeping up appearance? Does it, for you, how does it treat you? There are people you talk to and they have fear of failure. They're like, excuse my language, things are evolving. I need, you say Dakapia Kaliwa, but then you need something that keeps people going. And now, in 2024, industry duka. I think industry atandiko kuduka nyo in the 2020s mostly, yeah? Before you know it, we've moved from this trend to another one and then another one. And now you're there. Ozambe, I tell you from Ozambe, I take this. True. Does the pressure sometimes get you and you're like, I need to keep up?
I am not really moved by short-term trends, which seems to be the way a lot of these new cuts roll. The graph is like this.
Exactly. There's even no
Thank you. You cannot be an icon with that kind of approach. You cannot be a legend with that kind of approach. That's why Ozambe is trending right now, right? Okay, I don't know. Is it still trending? I don't know. Was. But you could never in a million years compare it to Nera. You get my point?
Nera. Yeah.
Never. However much it never. Now that's the difference. So you have to ask yourself. I know there are two things. There's the kind of artist you want to be, but also I guess it comes down to the kind of artist you are able
to be.
Because Ozambe could never have the creativity and talent to do something like Nera.
Yeah.
So I understand and respect the fact that everyone uses their strength. If Oyoyecha Sobolecho, Simunenya for trying to go that direction.
Yeah.
But the key thing is to remember that we cannot all be the same.
Oh, yeah.
And we can't all have the same approach. So today, if I play Better Nange at any show, you could think it's a song of this year.
Yeah.
But it's not. But there are songs that were released in lockdown, which, I don't know, if they play now, it's like, okay. You get my point. So I had to understand that, okay, what kind of artist are you? I know some artists, I don't want to mention names, who are pressured into leaving a Charlie Chiri them.
Yeah.
To try and follow trends. Then they jumped onto a lot of stuff, and then they just got lost in there. Because even the fans that were your fans, now they start not understanding.
You, who you are. They're like...
Yeah. And then even the new ones, they also feel like, you know, because I feel like there's a way, somewhere, somehow, there's some consistency expected in your delivery.
Yeah.
Because people know you for that. Until when you hear Arik Hassani's song, you will know. That means he's singing the same stuff, but you will know.
You will feel it.
Yes. If he wakes up one day and goes like something so polar,
or gives you like a Buju Banton style,
you
false voice.
Yet like, his hardcore fans know him for that, and those are the ones that love him.
Yeah.
Then those fans be like, this is not my thing.
Yeah.
Remember, if they're your fans for that reason, it means their thing is not their thing. So then, you know, so you might do it deliberately, or it might come naturally. I did not do it deliberately, but now I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
But I try not to think about it, because when you don't think about it, so it can come organically.
Yeah.
It's better.
It's better.
It's more real.
Thank you so much. As we come to the beginning of the end of this, for all the years you've been in the spotlight, we know that women have been mad and crazy. We've never seen a public relationship like Toniks is dating this one, probably Toniks Kuchala, Toniks child. What's your school of thought on family, and how have you avoided those bullets?
Well, first of all, I'll have you know that if women are obsessed with a guy, outward and openly, in actual sense, most of them are scared. Women don't like competition.
I now know what you mean. I've been wondering.
Women don't like competition.
Preach, preacher.
You get? So if women feel like...
That's not how they approach, yeah?
Women don't like competition.
Yeah.
So a woman will feel like if so many women like this guy, I'm gonna have problems.
Yeah.
Competition, you know. And also, I don't like those things. Marriage, but it's not. It's not a priority to me. I don't know how to put it. It's a good thing, but I'm not going to go out of my way and make it like a project. Nah, you get it? So I feel like it's something that should happen organically. Even to be real, in such scenarios, I feel like be accidental and planned and doesn't want to come real. You know, like they say, lightning strikes.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not going to go out of my way and be like, now let me go and bro. That's how I even make mistakes and regret, you know? So, yeah. But also, I've dated some people, but they don't like the spotlight. And I respect that. Because with the spotlight comes a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah.
And people are never happy for you. Not all of them, at least.
Yeah.
And if you put your things out there, you are opening the door for whatever.
People don't spoil what they don't know.
Thank you.
They don't ruin what they don't know.
You have put it right.
Yeah.
So once you decide to put it out there, then better be ready to deal with the outcomes. Good.
Some people feel like it should be a part of showbiz. I mean,
true.
Some of the things that trend is love, gossip.
I agree with you somewhat. So I guess it depends on the person you date.
Yeah.
If they want privacy, maybe they have a sensitive job. Maybe if they're not in the public at all and they don't want to be.
But
so you have to choose.
In all these years, how have you avoided people that are in the limelight with you? Because you interact with them. I'm sure sometimes you are at shows together. Probably it could be a fellow artist or it could be somebody in the entertainment industry. How have you avoided them? Or honestly, you've had flings and we just didn't know about them?
No, I feel
I'm
like...
a bro, tell me.
I feel like...
Yeah.
You think that person watching is my bro?
Yeah, you have me there. Yeah.
No, but I think most of my circles have been like people I went to school with, people, the people I hang with. Even today, if you see, most of my friends who are regularly, who I hang with a lot.
Yeah.
So, of course, eventually, even if I was to have flings, it would probably be among
the circle,
that kind of thing, right? And they themselves may be like, they don't like, even me sometimes they say, I remember I had a friend of mine who used to be like, I don't like going out with Alan because reach a place and then he has to greet people, and then like,
yeah.
So they feel like it's too much for them. Yeah, so, and also from those back then when Red Pepper was still doing their thing, I think I learned some hard lessons because I was really innocent. I would think that people mind their business, but bro, you would date like 20 people in 1 year because all it took was for you to be seen with them hanging out in the club having fun.
Yeah.
They are bonking.
That was it.
So, guy bonked people that I've never bonked, bro. I sound like if I was really bonking these people, bro, maybe I wouldn't mind so much.
But at some point, you're eventually going to have to settle.
Of course.
Do you have a year in mind?
But you see,
yeah,
my analysis is not saying that I don't want to settle. I'm not settle. I'm just saying I just haven't been doing public things, right? If I were to do that, it would have to be worth it. Even for my brand.
They've never put you on the DP. It has to be worth it. hata sikutisiza nti odduke. But like they said, it has to be worth it. So whatever you're doing is not yet worth it. Alan, I'm not twisting up things. Now, Alan has a concert that is happening. It's going to be at Sheraton on the 5th of October. And, people think to do a concert in this country, then you call it Simani, the name of the song.
Say a concert should be called like Sikuleka.
Toniks like yes. Now things are different. It's my journey, right?
Yes, my journey.
200,000 Ugandan shillings. That is ordinary.
Yeah.
Then you have VIP 500K.
Yeah.
And then a table is 3 million. What are we expecting? What are we looking at? And why are you calling it my journey? Why not anything else?
So what you should expect is in the name of the show, my journey.
My journey.
I have a very rich discography that spans generations.
Very true.
Spans generations. I realize there are fans who don't know Beranange, but they know songs from Romance up to now, and they don't know earlier songs. And then there are maybe even fans who knew the earlier songs, but later on, maybe due to the stage of life they are in.
Yes.
So they're not really conversant.
Yeah.
You tell them Toniks, they say, okay. But when you play, oh, I remember that song. I used to enjoy that song. I used to work over where, So, and whenever I go on stage, I realize I have never actually performed the entire discography at any stage. There's never enough time.
Yeah, true.
So, whenever I leave, one of the most common comments is that, hey, na kange kenjaga te waka imbie. Lwachi. So I'll be like, okay. There's never an opportunity to please everyone. But if you're doing your own show, then you can have everyone live happy.
Oh, yeah.
And so I want to take them through a journey that has spanned over years. A sonic trip. My theme is goosebumps and adrenaline.
Goosebumps and adrenaline.
Yeah. So I want you to, at some point in the show,
yeah.
But at some point in the show, I want to make you feel like you want to somersault and jump on that stage.
Definitely.
Exactly. So to bring both of those dynamics in the same show, it takes a bit of planning and execution.
Oh, yeah.
On the side of both the production and the musicality and the arrangement. Yes, and of course, I chose Sheraton because, of course, I have a couple of people who reach out and say, the second I'm like, so I'm like, okay, if we're going to be some of Sheraton.
Yes.
Exactly. You're in a safe space, organized. So only comfortable, basically. And so, by the way, I forgot to say that we have early bird tickets for Ordinary that are going for 100K.
Okay.
Yeah, half price.
Where do we find them and how?
Oh yeah, so the early birds are on MTN Momo ticketing. You dial *165*20#.
Yeah.
And then you see the options of the shows and you select. That is *165*20#. And then the rest of the tickets.
Yeah.
You dial *252*4#. That is *252*4#. And then you can buy the VIP. So a VIP ticket, 500 originally wasn't there.
Okay.
We created it because twalabantu waliwo abantu abakubanga amasimu oba naddala ku mikutu gya Instagram nga bagamba nti naye nze nyina kyali wange tulina akakadde ate twagala emmeeza naye nga manye ekyo tekisoboka naye nga manye saagala genda mu Kayola njagala VIP so naye ngamba kale nja kukolawo emmeeza kubanga manyi kati nange bemba njagala gula mmeeza nekyali wange ndi ne Henry ninga tetulina abantu balala basatu ab'okugattako. It means we have to pay 3 million tutuule n'ebifo ebisatu ebiri empty.
Definitely.
So I said, okay, for 500K, I'll give you a seat on a table.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll populate the table.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have the same experience as someone who buys a table without having to buy the entire table.
I feel you. Amazing. And we wish you the best of luck. After the concert, what next? Do we see new music from Toniks? Are you concentrating on production? What are you planning for your staunch fans?
I have some, whenever I'm really in a space of experimentation and I might discover new stuff. So I'm always looking out for new producers, new writers.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of surprises up my sleeve that I think will be dope for the fans. Yeah. Maybe after or right before. I'll see how to bring it out. And then of course we might be doing a country tour. Yeah. And maybe also expand and go continental and beyond. Yes. I've also ventured into, other things. I have a company called Shutter Media.
Shutter Media.
Yes, we do ads, concept development, execution, audio, video, audio, visual, graphics, the whole shebang. So we're also putting some effort in that.
Yeah.
And so, in case you need that type of thing,
holla at the ball.
Henry can bring you to me.
Sure.
I'll give him a cut.
Commission 80%. I personally, I want to thank you for keeping grounded. A lot of people have, come. The spotlight has been on them, and then we've lost them along the way. Mentally, some people to things that we can't explain, but you've kept grounded. You look like what you preach. You're still shining, and it's not by mistake that you're here the way you are.
Amen to that.
Bachali bafe tugende tuwagire Toniks nakuzo mwezi nga 5 ku Sheraton. His journey is worth it. Like he said, the theme is adrenaline and goosebumps. So tutule tunyumire music, tutule tunyumire tuchakale, and we have a good time. And of course this is my call to all the other young artists that are coming. It's not easy for somebody to be an artist okuva munana paka kati nga akyalabika bwati nga akyasobola okwogera bwati ate nga tali ku pressure kakamu. Amalala, cool down, focus on the talent and grow. This is an artist that you can still sell anytime, any day. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Henry.
Pleasure. Let us know what you think in the comments section. Up until next week, mukama abankumire. This is the Deep Talk. My name is Mr. Henry. Sigara ku Galaxy TV.
Henry.